You're looking live at Pony Stadium as we continue our coverage of St. Croix Legends Soccer on Valley Access Channels. St. Croix will take on Minneapolis City for the second time this season as St. Croix looks to pick up some momentum in the Deep North Division in the Central Conference. Greetings, everyone. I am Mike Peden, and I am joined by Don Ackerman. Don, you've had a chance to see the St. Croix team a couple of times this season, including the 1-0 victory in the first meeting between these two. What should we look out of St. Croix tonight?
Well, I mean, for St. Croix, their player of the match has been their goaltender multiple times this year, so keep an eye on him. My friend Eddie also said keep an eye. He's a Minneapolis City fan. He said keep an eye on Sanchez, who's in goal for the Crows. So I think that's going to be the key, is those two, watching them. As far as who scores, Tevlin Va had 2 goals during the season. He's an exciting player to watch. Who else is on the roster that's fun to watch for the Legends? He's one guy that I kind of key on. I'd also be interested to see if Kobe Owu gets in the game, number 24. He's fun to watch too. So you have a lot of, really there's a lot of players and good quality. Stussy scored for the Crows in the last match, so keep an eye on him too. Those are some of my key players.
Owu and Va are 2 of the players who have registered a goal for St. Croix. Minneapolis, Eli Goldman is the only player to score in USL 2 competition. He has 2 goals, but outside of that, Minneapolis City, they've had a hard time putting the ball in the net. That being said, you saw this team in late May, right before Memorial Day weekend. Is Goldman the player they go to, or can someone else pick up some offense for this team?
I think they have a lot of players that they could have pick up. I think you could hear some of the Crows fans. I think they're called the Citizens. They were starting to beat the drum. That game against St. Croix, they had some shots hit the post. I think they felt like it was an unlucky day for them. So maybe they're hoping today it's a little bit luckier for them, as we see the Crows wearing their hot pink jerseys, which are really stylish, and then the Legends are in their whites, which are also beautiful jerseys. That's one thing that I love about these teams, is you have beautiful professional-style kits to look at.
And before we get started, actually we're getting started now, but we would like to thank a pair of sponsors, Los Ocampo, who brought their food truck for spectators who want to check them out, and Candyland with their famous Chicago mixed popcorn. We'd like to thank those 2 for supporting St. Croix Legends, and in doing so, they're helping support us too.
Yeah, don't forget, it's Taco Tuesday.
It is Taco Tuesday, but one of these teams wants to pick up a win on Soccer Tuesday.
That's right.
Now, this is USL 2.
USL 2 Tuesday? Can we do that?
USL 2 Tuesday. I was going to say, if you're new to USL 2, it's a cross between high school and college and the professional ranks. This is a semi-pro league. There is a 7-player substitution limit, so more than the 3 you might be accustomed to seeing, as
Whoa!
St. Croix Legends gets on the board early in the first minute.
That's number 7.
Well,
Tevlin Va.
no substitutions required for Va. He picks up his 3rd goal of the season. And I was going to say, 7-player limit. We have a clock that counts up, just like you would see in professional and international competition. We have stoppage time, but Telvin Va, out of West Fargo, North Dakota, he attends college at Concordia Moorhead. He gets St. Croix Legends on the board, 1-0 with a goal in the first minute.
That's amazing. It's not the first time, too. In their last game on June 3rd, Zakowski scored 31 seconds into the game. So you can see that happen quickly.
Telvin Va needed about 50 seconds to knock in the first goal of the game. But we've seen this all the time, Don. You and I have covered many Stillwater soccer games here at Pony Stadium. If you've got confidence, if you think you've got a look, go for it.
Oh, he had a beautiful look. Put the ball on the upper half of the net. Just a spectacular goal. And the goal was scored before the super fans could get their chants going and everything. That's pretty impressive.
Again, the Legends in the white kits, Minneapolis City in the pink and blue, I want to say candy stripe.
Oh,
That's not a tie-dye.
Cotton candy stripe?
Cotton candy stripe.
I love the jerseys, and I'm pretty sure the fans love them too. It's funny because the team's color scheme is black and white, right? And then they've got this splash of color. It's something else.
Reminds me of the San Antonio Spurs in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, with that and fans have gone back. They've wanted that to be brought back. Mitchell Ness, I think, has done well bringing that style back. Say one thing to keep an eye on defensively for St. Croix, one of the guys I like to watch is number 3, Hecht. Watch that person in the middle. He's assisted on a goal, actually, but also he's pretty driven and having a good time.
Jared Hecht out of Apple Valley. He attends Gustavus. All of these players, as St. Croix Legends almost got another one. It was deflected. That came from number 10, Victor Gallman. He goes to St. Olaf, and he comes from Brest, France. But we will get our first corner. As it was touched. Go ahead, Don.
I was going to say, Sanchez flying to make sure that didn't get in.
So he concedes the corner and our first set piece of the evening. Loose ball, but it was knocked away by Martin Sanchez, who made the first contact with it. Sanchez, 824, I should say, 824 save percentage. For St. Croix Legends, Wesley Sanders, their keeper, out of Urbandale, Iowa, 780 save percentage.
Yeah, Sanchez, I've been told on multiple occasions, has kept his team in games with his athletic prowess. So that's something to keep an eye on. And there you saw, I think if the ball would have been inside, I think Sanchez would have had that. Va just had a great shot to beat him. You can't stop everything as a goalie, and you know that.
The bigger challenge for Minneapolis City is generating offense. Again, just 2 goals all season, both coming from Eli Goldman.
Yeah, Minneapolis City, too, when I watch them, it seems like they're more of a strategic setup team. You see a lot of guys looking to set their team up with a deep ball like we're just seeing right now. And I'll tell you, number 19, Susi, he can run the ball down. He's pretty quick, so keep an eye on him. He's somebody who also can score a goal for Minneapolis City. And you can see they do a lot of those passes to set players up. To me, that feels very like German soccer.
You would know a thing or two about that.
I watch some. I do.
I should say not as a player, unless there's a secret participation or if you secretly played a game for the German national team.
No, I've played in Germany, but not for Germany. There's a huge difference there. Just like I've thrown a football at Soldier Field, not in Soldier Field. But there you can see like they do a really good job with setups, and one thing that St. Croix is really good on defense as they take the ball away, and they were really good at preventing Minneapolis City from putting anything together in their previous match.
Va tried to hook up with number 8, Colton Prater. Prater attending Green Bay, UW Green Bay that is, out of Hudson, Wisconsin. Not too far from here. Hudson, by the way, if you're a St. Croix Legends fan, Hudson is hosting the next home game on June 18th.
I saw that. So if you want to travel out of state to see a match, that's your chance.
Well, if you have to go to a backup site, Hudson High School is one of the premier facilities. I had a chance to do a volleyball game in there, actually, but their football field looks spectacular.
I'm excited to check it out. And that game is when they host Des Moines Menace, who are the defending league champions.
These two, again, in the Deep North Division within the Central Conference.
Yeah, there's teams in Canada involved, too. They just got their game started at the end of May. I think they had a staggered start, maybe due to weather. And Thunder Bay will be coming to Minnesota for a match coming up in the future. But right now it's a local matchup. We've got some fans from Minneapolis City who are here. They've made the long drive from Minneapolis to see their team play.
That game July 5th when Thunder Bay makes the trek. I hope they have their passports.
Yeah. If not, stay and enjoy the fireworks. We all know that fireworks last well beyond the 4th. You'll hear them popping off just about every night for a week at least. Look at popping off, though. There again, those deep balls. So impressive. And then there's Hecht again, clearing it out of there. Such a great clear.
Minneapolis City was looking to set up on one of those deep passing routes again. Haven't quite strung it together, but something to keep an eye on as we continue. We're in the 9th minute.
It's a clear strategy that they have.
Flag goes up. St. Croix Legends offside. Almost said Stillwater. I have to remind myself that's not until the fall, Mike. But yeah, there are a couple of Stillwater connections on this St. Croix team. Jake Smothers, one of the coaches, the head coach of the boys team, and Logan Huber, who won a state championship back in 2018. Those two highly familiar with the confines of Pony Stadium.
Yeah, that Huber name sounds familiar. Maybe we've seen a couple Hubers out
Well,
there.
his father, head coach of the state champion girls soccer team this school year. And he also has a sister. Both are now playing at St. Thomas.
Yeah, great soccer family.
Logan and Lexi. Collision and a foul is called as Victor Gallman took a hit.
And I would tell you, that player talking right now, he's aggressive.
That's 12. Number 12. And he's still having a discussion with the official here.
O'Driscoll. Number 12, O'Driscoll. Sorry to find him on the roster here. Yeah, he's an aggressive player, and he's getting a good talking to. But he's consistently aggressive, too, and I think you can see his teammate high-fiving him. They appreciate that aggressiveness. I'm sure St. Croix doesn't, but the teammates do, and he's someone to keep an eye on. They do have some aggressive. Their midfield's very aggressive.
Now again, no stoppage time until we reach the 45-minute mark. So during that exchange, the clock continues to tick. So we are now in the 11th minute, 10:20 to be precise.
We know that'll be some stoppage time, and we're going to see if we're going to be told that when it comes up. We've been indicated we might get some heads up on that now.
Yeah, we'll try to get it up on the screen for you, but if not, we'll keep you informed on where we are during the game.
Yeah, number 48 is also a very aggressive player. Constantable, also an aggressive defender. So keep an eye on him. They love body contact, and they do a good job at what they're there for.
Now the chants starting to permeate through Pony Stadium in Oak Park Heights.
Yeah, if you follow Minnesota United, you'll recognize some of the chants. They've been adapted from Minneapolis City, but I think there's some crossover between the Wonderwall and the citizens of Minneapolis City. I haven't seen a St. Croix drum here so far, but Minneapolis City brought theirs, and they got their megaphone.
Va got the deflection on that lead pass. As you noted, Don, Minneapolis City trying to set up their attacking line with that deep ball.
Yeah, to me, Minneapolis City, it looks like they're very strategic in how they set up their play. They're always looking to set up those shots like just right there, trying to time it right. Ooh.
That was a box-out move by Ethan Anderson out of Burnsville. He attends Wisconsin Eau Claire.
Good job defending there without getting any foul. Was very aggressive, though, that's for sure. A strong box out. Not just physical location, but physical contact.
He did force a change in possession. And as we watch this unfold. I do find this intriguing, this concept, as St. Croix tried to set up one of their attackers. Sanchez will retrieve it. But in the sport of soccer, this is not uncommon, actually, these semi-pro leagues for men and women to stay limber during the off-season. The college season, of course, takes place in the fall, so it's not too difficult for a lot of these soccer players to fit games in during the spring and summer when usually they're on summer break from their colleges or they're taking summer term courses. But you don't see that often with the other sports, basketball or football. Yeah, I remember there was a Pro-Am league in basketball back in the day for the local Gophers to stay limber, but we have a stoppage here as one of these St. Croix Legends players.
Looks like we're going to have a good number of stoppage time, and we've got some players down. I mean, the one thing I was going to say is, as far as timing and everything goes, this is something you heard from the Aurora. They have a player who's playing in Minnesota, and she doesn't like the cold. And they said, well, wait a minute, what are you doing in Minnesota? And she says, well, I'm here for the summer, so I'm fine. If you're going to be in a summer league, this is the place to go, right? I mean, instead of being like in the south or somewhere where it's super hot, I mean, the weather here is spectacular. We have beautiful days, beautiful nights. This is the right place to be.
Ethan Anderson was the player who will walk off, head back to the bench.
He's going to get checked out by the maybe team doctor or coach. Going to sit down, and we'll get back to action here at Pony Stadium. Interesting to have such an extended break here. Got the training staff on the field cleaning up. Oh, we might have had some, maybe there's some blood or something. I think we're having some cleanup on the 30-yard line.
While we wait out this pause in the action, we'd like to thank Lake Elbow Bank, MN Foot Tech, Morgan Stanley, and Leo's Grill and Malt Shop, and the new Glorias to Go, all partners. St. Croix Legends USL 2 Soccer. Or should I say football?
I'm okay with football.
Well, they call themselves SCs.
That's true.
In the big league, the one that you referenced earlier, they are FC.
Right. Football club. I think they're trying to appeal to the international fans when they make that maneuver. Whereas I think SC's maybe more of a local vibe. Looks like the field work is done. Get back to action. The clock's still running. We're in the 17th minute now.
And again, the clock does not stop.
Scores 1-0 with Va scoring at 1:07 into the game. Really early score. We've seen it go back and forth since.
Voss scoring in the first minute, and again, the clock will not stop. We will have a stoppage time at the end of each half. St. Croix Legends trying to get on top of it, and a foul right outside the penalty area. So Minneapolis City will be awarded a free kick.
This will be their best chance of the game to equalize.
Their first set piece of any sort. And spotting the free kick is number 48. Condestable.
Yep. Like I said, aggressive player, but also very solid.
And that sails high.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to, you'd have to place that one perfectly. Anderson's a top-notch goaltender.
St. Croix, 1-2-1. Minneapolis City, 0-3-1. Two teams looking to pick up some momentum as we are in the midway point of the USL 2 season. Minneapolis City, they have scored more than twice. They play those midweek cup games like you would see at the bigger leagues, Minnesota United, for example. But cup games are not included in the league standings or statistics.
Yeah, it does make it tricky when you're researching a team to get all those goals and figure all that out.
Minneapolis City, they haven't had any problems with possessions. It's stringing one together. They had that set piece on the free kick. It sailed high, and that's been about it. That pass is onside. This may be another opportunity, but once again, that St. Croix defensive line intervenes.
Yeah, St. Croix defense is really solid.
Minneapolis City will reset.
I was going to say, if you're wondering a little bit about the Deep North Division, it's currently being led by Des Moines Menace, the defending champs. Peoria City, a new club, is in second. Thunder Bay Chill, who will be coming here on July 5th, as you said. Third, St. Croix is fourth in the table. And FC Manitoba is after them, and then Minneapolis City SC.
That pass got slightly ahead of Herbert Endley, number 17. St. Croix keeps it in play, but right to the waiting leg of Wes Lawrence, number 15.
Lawrence is a good player to watch, too. I mean, Minneapolis City has a lot of talent. I think the St. Croix defense has just shut them down so far.
And once again, the St. Croix defensive line disrupts another potential attack.
Yeah, the way they work together is pretty impressive, I must say. And it's you see they keep trying and trying and trying shots, but St. Croix hasn't let them get any other than that foul. They really haven't had a good chance on goal. But like you said, they certainly can possess the ball, and you can see them strategically trying to set something up.
And watching the emerging styles between these two teams, St. Croix jumped out of the gate with the opening kickoff that turned into a Telvin Va goal less than a minute in. And now St. Croix has played more methodically. Minneapolis City has controlled a lot of possession time as they get another free kick here, but they can't seem to penetrate.
Yeah, this kind of set piece, though, this might be the chance right here. Key is to stay on side. There's some pushing and shoving going on, which you're going to expect. And Joe Driscoll got a little bit of a warning there, I think.
That was number 3, Jared Hecht, who once again exerts his influence on the defensive side.
Called his name a lot in the last match because Hecht, for me, just a phenomenal player, has good size, heads the ball out a lot, defensively seems to be in the right spot a lot of times, is very active. One of the MVPs, I think, if you can have a shutout game, would be Hecht. He's one heck of a player.
I'm sure he's heard that more than once.
Yes, he has.
That shot once again sails high, so Minneapolis City getting a few shots in here. They are controlling possession, but not able to get that quality look. They did have that free kick opportunity, but that went high. But we're seeing St. Croix's defensive stance hold as we are in the 22nd minute. In the third of 6 home games that we are bringing you.
Really nice ball forward there.
Va can't catch up to the ball in time, and a bit of a tussle there with his defender.
Yeah, tried to run around him because he was trying to box him out. Va wasn't interested. Va's a lot of fun to watch, though.
Wes Lawrence, number 15. Va's got a lot of speed, as we saw with his third goal of the season.
Yeah, and he had 2 goals in 1 game, so he's someone who can score. Scored early against Des Moines in the 8th and 19th minute.
He also has 3 assists.
Yeah, St. Croix's a team that I think looks to work together. A lot of passing, a lot of back and forths. You'll see some great plays there.
There's another deep ball that gets a little far out. That was close, though.
Yeah, Anderson doing a good job keeping that net protected. Really nice sideline pass there. But Hecht gets involved, and the ball's punched out. Well, kicked out, not punched.
Yeah, hands are not allowed in this sport.
That's right. Kind of
unless you're the keeper.
Exactly. It looks like Minneapolis City is trying to go around the outside of this St. Croix Soccer Club defense because they're not getting much around, not through the middle.
Just a reminder that all players participating in the halftime team relay contest are to report to the field 5 minutes.
A turnover on Minneapolis City SC after they tried to reset.
Oh!
Speaking of turnovers, that could be a costly one for St. Croix, but
I think they're going to call that.
Number 42, Loic Misanvi, made a play and I believe drew the foul.
Looks like a yellow card.
The question is, where was the foul issued?
It's so funny how often it's...
Jared Hecht hit with a yellow card?
Yep. With the grabbing and pushing, shove the player. And, of course, it's going to be right outside the box. I don't think that was a penalty or penalty kick-worthy foul. A lot of times you'll see that happen right outside the box, and the players know where and when to perform the foul.
So Hecht with a yellow in the 25th minute. And the St. Croix wall deflects one shot, deflects a second. A break for St. Croix.
And see that kind of play right there, the way Va flicked it forward for his teammate, that's exactly what I'm talking about when you see St. Croix playing together. Very unselfish kind of plays there.
Hecht with the yellow, though, in the 25th minute. As you know, 2 yellows equal a red. But what you said, Don, that is an interesting strategical decision. If you're going to take a yellow, like you said, make sure you do it outside the box so you know exactly where to make the move to get the stop and give your defense a chance to reset.
Yeah, you can't set up a PK, I mean, because, you know,
you don't want to concede one, I think is what you're trying to say.
You do not want to concede a PK, right, because you're putting your, I mean, a player with the talented players that we have on this field, they can put the ball where they want. So you can't give them a chance. Nice recovery there.
All the players you see on college teams, D1 through D3.
I've also heard the league called pre-pro, with I think that's having a forward-looking pro, putting that pro in there to get that in people's minds.
And he's not listed on the roster this evening, but St. Croix does have someone who hasn't reached college yet. Still has another year, actually.
Oh, is that Yui who scored? He scored as a substitute in one of their matches.
Well, Asher Uzuzu, who still attends high school at Eastridge.
Oh, okay.
A foul was called on Minneapolis City. And this will give us a look at Colton Prater, who will put the free kick in motion. Prater out of Hudson.
inch that ball forward. I just love the strategy that's always involved there.
If you're clever enough, Prater was looking for a passing target up front. Can't quite
I think
find
it's
him.
Hecht.
And a
Hecht's
foul.
got good size and is good with the header, so I think he's someone they look to set up number 3.
Outside, I should say, not a foul. But you're talking about that spot up. Years ago, actually, this was part of Stillwater's championship run in 2018 semifinals. Spencer Scott was awarded a free kick after he drew a foul and didn't ask for a wall. This is the important thing. He didn't ask for a wall, as I understand it, so as soon as the officials spotted the ball, he was allowed to put it in motion, and he caught the Central defense off guard. It turned out to be the go-ahead goal.
Strategy is important. Smart people do well.
Soccer's equivalent of a trick play.
Looks like number 15 was offsides. Flag went up. Sanchez is going to put it at the edge of the box and then kick it deep. Oh, no. Kick it short. You see Minneapolis City sizing up St. Croix, looking for an opportunity. You see St. Croix is not going to let anything get past that. Their final four protecting the goalie.
And drawing the foul is Prater.
Yeah, aggressive play by Constable, number 48. You'll see that pretty consistently. Referee talking to him. Probably telling him something he's heard before.
Gallman.
Substitution for St. Croix, number 19, Stu Sane, on for number 34, Ethan Anderson.
So Sane in for Anderson. Again, you have a limit of 7 substitutions versus 3 that you would hear about in the higher leagues. Here comes Minneapolis City with another deep ball. And 2 stops.
Anderson took it off the
Sanders.
chest.
Wesley Sanders.
Sanders, sorry.
Right, he might be feeling that one tomorrow, but he made 2 big plays against a charging Minneapolis City team. That might have been their best scoring chance of the half. And Wesley Sanders out of Urbandale, again, attending Gustavus. Which is down in St. Peter, a member of the MIAC. And now we're back to the tempo we have seen most of this half. Minneapolis City getting more of the possession time, but they can't penetrate. As the flag is up, St. Croix offside. For the moment anyway, St. Croix is content. I don't want to say they're not making a play for the ball, but they're content to watch Minneapolis City bounce it around, pass it around, look for a hole to get through, and for the most part, they haven't found one.
Yeah, I think that they're looking at keeping their defensive alignment, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of adjustments they make after halftime, because it looks like they're just trying to figure out how to break open, and they've been offsides a couple times, preventing that from happening.
32nd minute.
But you can see they're defensively minded. They have a lot of their players on the defensive half of the field.
There's another deep ball. Sanders makes the catch.
Might have
Did he make
been
contact?
clipped.
Yes.
Maybe stepped on his foot, maybe? I don't know. Curious to see if we're going to have a check here.
It has been a rough half as far as injuries go for St. Croix.
Sanders will remember this game, that's for sure. Here's another look at it. Not sure there if there was contact or not.
Looking at the replay and then watching it live, if there was contact, there wasn't much of it. I wonder, when he leapt up to make the grab, did he dig into the turf?
Potentially. I mean, Sanders has been solid for St. Croix, so having him go down is not exciting for the St. Croix Legends fans. They do not want to see this.
He has been the lone keeper this season for St. Croix.
At this point, I think we're looking at hopefully just maybe a check. But for sure, I think as we run into the 35th minute, we're probably going to have a pretty good number of stoppage time minutes coming our way if you're trying to plan your halftime break.
Well, our halftime break will include an interview with Laurent DeConnick, the CEO of Machining Technology. And
they're responsible for those beautiful jerseys.
They are the jersey title sponsor for the Legends USL 2 team.
Looks like Sanders is walking off the field. So we're seeing a backup warming up.
And Sanders, who put together a couple of fine stops, he'll head to the bench. And that might be it for him. Again, there is a substitution limit.
Trying to get a look at that jersey number to see who's coming in.
For St. Croix, number 40, Austin Williams.
And Austin Williams will play his first minutes minding the net.
From Woodbury, Minnesota, and St. Olaf.
Playing for St. Olaf in Northfield. St. Olaf also the inspiration behind Betty White's character Rose from the Golden Girls.
Fun fact, I did not know that.
Well, in the show, she hailed from the fictional town of St. Olaf. We have another injury. Again, this game has been brutally difficult for St. Croix. A lot of injury stoppages, but this one looks to be less serious. That is number 20, Nicholas Zukowski out of Wales, Wisconsin.
Plays at Augsburg. Augsburg. I don't know where that field came from.
Augsburg next door to the U of M in Minneapolis. A free kick forthcoming for St. Croix.
Not far from where the Crows play.
Prater got the header, and Sanchez makes the catch.
Looked like Prater was trying to find number 3, Hecht again.
Well, the header did make its way to the net. Sanchez had to make a leaping grab for the save, but that was a well-run set piece, perhaps the best set piece we've seen out of St. Croix in this first half.
Yeah, that's their best chance since early on when Gallman missed that shot wide to the left of the net while up 1-0 after Vaz goal.
38th minute now. St. Croix still up 1-0. That was the score they won by in the first meeting with Minneapolis City SC, giving the Legends their first win in USL 2 league play. Here comes St. Croix. A beautiful look and a beautiful shot by number 38 to make it 2-0.
There was absolutely nothing that
Dylan
Sanchez
Olsen
could do about that.
Dylan Olsen. And Olsen, one of the newcomers for St. Croix. Wasn't listed on the stat sheet, so Olsen with his first goal. And it's 2-0 with Olsen scoring in the 39th minute.
St. Croix in the 38th minute.
38th minute.
Sam Just.
Okay, that was Sam Just. So correction, Sam Just. I thought I saw a 3. It was a 2. But for Sam Just, that is his first goal of the season. It's still 2-0 either way.
Yeah, and Just has assisted on others' goals, so now he's getting his chance.
Well, there's 38 Olsen. He may have another look. Couldn't get through that double team. So this St. Croix team, again, they haven't been as consistent as far as their attacks, but they have proven to be opportunistic. A goal from Just and a goal from Va.
Quality, not quantity, from St. Croix.
On the goal, scored by number 38, Dylan Olsen.
Okay, it was Olsen. I have to learn to trust my instincts more.
Yeah, you do. Mike changing his announcement after hearing the public address announcer.
I thought I saw a 38, but hey, sometimes I've covered a lot of AAU. You'll see players sport different numbers than what they have listed in the programs.
Yes, that is true. And the numbers are easy to see on their back of their jerseys, but not so easy to see from the front or sides.
That's something, again, you see at the higher leagues in high school. Every team has numbers on the front and back. So Dylan Olsen, again, one of the newcomers. He wasn't listed in the original roster program. I've got a feeling they may have to issue some revised ones after Olsen got on the board.
You know, it's funny, when I picked it up, I was wondering, it's just like the one from a couple weeks ago. I wonder if anything's changed.
Well, Olsen making a change for the positive.
Answer is yes, it has changed.
Dylan Olsen with his first goal in league play. And St. Croix with a 2-0 lead. As we are in the closing minutes of the first half, again, we will have a stoppage time. We don't know how much time will be added.
Yeah, Dylan Olsen, so new to the team that when you go to the USL 2 website, you see number 38 with no stats available.
After tonight, that will change. I mentioned this a lot covering high school games, and you get a player who comes off the bench, plays in stat padding time, gets a point or two, and I say, well, that person will get an entry on the box score. In the old days, we would say make the paper. Dylan Olsen will now have an entry on the stat page.
You can see St. Croix backing up, trying to set up their next attack.
There's the deep ball. Flag stays down.
Really good timing. Yes, I was going to say that's going to be St. Croix's ball. There was a delay there in the call. I don't think
I think Enright wanted a foul.
I think so too.
Minneapolis City takes over.
Va trying to get a hold of that ball, wasn't able to. Goes off him and goes out of bounds. Minneapolis City with the throw in.
Participating in the halftime relay event.
Minneapolis City,
To the gate at the north end of the field.
among their staff, they have a female assistant coach in Tori Burnett and a former athletic director, Adam Pribble, who was the athletic director at De La Salle for several years before moving to a more soccer-exclusive position.
Good job defensively there by Hecht. You'll hear me say that a lot because I've been pretty impressed. I've been pretty impressed.
He's putting in the work to make that happen.
He absolutely is earning it. I'm not throwing out free praise. Looks like he is running a little funny. A little giddy up in his step, as they say.
Goal kick. We're in the 45th minute again. We'll find out how much stoppage time is added.
Oh, they're going to make Va run for that one, and he's able to get it.
You give Voss space, though.
Not a good idea.
That time he tried the centering pass. Not a bad idea.
Yeah, just out of reach, but a great idea.
Not a bad idea. St. Croix, they were offside as it is, or Olsen was, but that was a well-run set. St. Croix's offense is starting to find their spots. Another deep ball, but Minneapolis City offside that time.
Yeah, that's a lot of work, those offsides with those deep balls. You have a hardcore run.
I only saw one defender nearby.
Yeah, and that's the funny part about the whole thing, right? Is it's strategic, right? You can do everything right and be offsides because the defender outsmarts you. I think that player down holding on to his. Oh, that's Hecht.
You did mention he was running a bit awkwardly, and
jeez,
he's holding on to his thigh.
Boy, I tell you, this is. If Hecht is he looks like he's writhing in pain. So if Hecht is down and you've lost Sanders as your goalkeeper, you've lost two keys to that defensive prowess that St. Croix has. They've done a good job limiting opponents with goals, and losing those two guys is going to be really bad. Players are going to the sideline, and they're telling the trainer to get out there.
I didn't see what happened. I know Hecht was pursuing the Minneapolis City player, I believe. I couldn't make out the number from here. Perhaps we have another look at this.
As we turn our replay monitor over. Guess for now we'll get a look at the St. Croix club. Kicking the ball back in. Hecht has been removed from the field, moved back a little bit with two people checking him out.
And this occurred just before we reached the 45-minute mark. So we are in the stoppage time portion of the half. And it will be St. Croix Legends ball, as Minneapolis City was offside. I think Misanvi perhaps was the one. No, that was 22. Tough break for St. Croix. And I'm looking at the field, Don. For the moment, St. Croix, if I'm counting this correctly, they have just 9. They have opted not to substitute Hecht. So they have just 10 players out on the field for now.
Yep, but it hasn't stopped them from getting down the field and now setting up the corner. They're not running. They're not in a hurry to set this corner up. They know they've got a couple minutes of time here, and they'd like to see what happens as Hecht gets up off the field.
Officials indicate there'll be a minimum of 7 minutes of stoppage time.
So there you go, 7 minutes of stoppage time at a minimum.
And we are at 2:40 in that stoppage time session. And again, we hit 45 just as Hecht was injured. Here comes a corner, as Don noted, for St. Croix Legends. Again, they have opted not to substitute Hecht because, again, if they did, he would be out for the remainder of the game. And I think Hecht is trying to work off his injury. This is a very intriguing point of the match, Don, when you have a player suffer an injury, Hecht trying to walk it off. So St. Croix Legends opting not to put in a substitute, perhaps hoping the halftime intermission will give them a chance to recover.
Yeah, and I think if you're Minneapolis City, this is exactly what you want as you have these deep balls. If you have Hecht out of there, and he's been a force in the middle defensively.
And now Minneapolis City will get its first corner.
And then they've got a player who's got a little hiccup in his step. I think that's number 48.
That would
Constantable, if I'm seeing him right.
Yes.
Looks like he's limping a little bit too.
And we just want to be clear.
Oh, wait, that's number 12. Sorry, that was O'Driscoll. My mistake.
Okay, that was O'Driscoll. Here comes the corner, though. Minneapolis City wasting no time. There's still a few minutes left in stoppage time. We have at least 3 more. But we want to make it clear, no one has been removed from the game, no send-offs, no red cards. Minneapolis, or I should say St. Croix, just opting to hold off on a substitution and hope Andrew Hecht is available for the next game.
I think that just,
or the next half.
I think that just tells you how valuable he is, that they do not want to sub him out. He's a force offensively with the headers and defensively as a defender.
And I also see, at least at the moment, it's a pretty small bench for St. Croix Legends. So they are muscling through this stoppage time session with 10 men. And they are absent their defensive leader in Jared Hecht. That's 22 to O'Driscoll. We are past the 5-minute mark in stoppage time.
Minneapolis City definitely wanting to get one good shot on here. They'd love to get one goal before the halftime break.
At the very least, test the new keeper, Austin Williams, who went in place of the injured Wesley Sanders.
And so far, Minneapolis City, they can kind of surround the goal and surround St. Croix, but they can't break through.
Well, and Stu Sain got in there to deflect the lead pass just a moment ago. We're at the 6-minute mark in stoppage time. There's a roller. Bounces off a couple of players. There's the first look for Minneapolis City, and they get on the board in stoppage time. 45+6.
And that was number 22, Zeng, if I've got that right.
I see a 42.
Oh.
Misanvi.
Basambi, my mistake.
In any event, Minneapolis City, this was the chance they were looking for, a way to test the new keeper in Williams, and that ball bounced around. It took a fortuitous carom over to Misanvi, and he knocked it in. It's 2-1.
Just in time before halftime break. They're going to try to get one more chance here. That ball's out of bounds, though.
Goes past the touch line. We're at the 7-minute mark, which was the minimum.
And this is that goal was exactly what Minneapolis City wanted. They'd love to get one more, but getting one on the board is phenomenal for them after struggling to find their way in the first half, getting that one foul chance, but other than that, not able to crack through. Great goal there by Masambi.
They've been shut out 3 times. They might get another look here before the half is through. Centering pass. Second opportunity. And just like that, we're even at 2. Eli Goldman. Has the momentum shifted or what?
Yeah, that is an amazing turn of events. All in extra time. It's stoppage time, if you will, for that first half. Not extra.
We don't have extra time until we get to the postseason.
Correct. Sorry.
Minneapolis goals in stoppage time scored by number 42, Luke Masandi, and number 10, Eli Goldman.
That time Williams catches up to it, so 45 plus 6 and 45 plus 7 unofficially. And again, St. Croix playing shorthanded after the injury to Andrew Hecht. He's still on the bench.
Yeah, and Wes Sender is also out of the net with Williams in place.
Williams knocks it into the bleachers, and that will do it. Or as Andres Cantor would say, translated into English, the referee says there is no time for more. At least in this half, 2-2 our score. St. Croix Legends jumped out of the gate, took control. Minneapolis City scoring a pair of goals in stoppage time with St. Croix shorthanded. Don, this is going to make for a wild and unpredictable second half.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering what kind of adjustments we're going to see. Now we're going to see if Hecht's able to finish. If not, who is substituted in. And being down one player really did cause problems. And St. Croix gives up their 2-goal lead.
We'll pause and return with an interview with the CEO of Machining Technology, the jersey title sponsor for St. Croix Legends. So we'll introduce you to him when we come back. You're watching St. Croix Legends Soccer.
For live streaming our home game.
It's halftime In our St. Croix Legends soccer match, we are even at 2, St. Croix and Minneapolis City, and we are joined by the CEO of Machining Technology, Laurent de Koning. Machining Technology, the title sponsor for St. Croix Legends. That's the name you see on the jerseys. Laurent, thanks for paying a visit in the broadcast booth. So, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do, and what brought you here to St. Croix Legends.
Yeah, Laurent worked for Machining Technology, where basically build molds for plastic injection and die cast here in Minneapolis. And the company loves soccer, and thought it would be a good opportunity to sponsor the Legend and grow the USL League Two league in the US.
And you gave us a tease on what you do with your company. So what kind of clients do you serve? Who do you work with in the community with Machining Technology?
Yeah, any type of plastic component that you need in medical, telecommunication, die cast that you need in cars, we'll basically make the mold, and then the molder will mold the plastic for us.
So it sounds like you do a lot of work with medical companies and professionals who use your equipment. So who are the people that you serve through your Machining Technology enterprise?
We'll do business for Parker Hannafin, Toro, GE, Medtronics, those type of companies.
So what got you excited? You mentioned you wanted to grow this league. How did you get involved with St. Croix Legends? What was the tie-in, and how exciting is it to be the title sponsor as St. Croix Legends starts their first chapter in USL 2 competition?
Yeah, I grew up in Belgium. We play a lot of soccer, played soccer until I was 18. And my boy plays soccer too here at the St. Croix club. And it was a great opportunity to keep promoting the sport in the US, keep growing it. And I'm glad we can do it through Machining Technology.
And you mentioned you have a soccer background. Of course, Belgium, Germany, Europe, it's a big deal over there. What do you make of the culture that is growing, whether it's USL 2, we've seen MLS expand, we've seen the following that Minnesota United has developed, and it's been a gradual process, but I imagine for someone like you and a lot of folks who are into the sport of soccer, it's really cool to see the growth and the energy that has enveloped the sport over the last few years.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic that the US is finally kind of growing into the soccer mode. There's a lot more competition here with other sports, so it's more difficult to keep the players longer in the sport as they're younger. But it's super fun to finally see the US at a world stage, play the World Cup, have more American players play in the Champions League in Europe. And you know, it starts from as they're small and keep growing USL 2, USL 1, MLS, and we're very happy that we can help make this happen.
I do have to ask you, since you have followed the sport ever since you were little, again playing until you were 18, who is your favorite athlete in the sport? It could be anyone, international, MLS. Who was the player you looked up to when you were making your way through as a player?
When I was younger, probably Schifo. He's a Belgian player from the 80s. Really good game, very technical. A little bit like Maradona or Messi was for more the international level. And now I love Kevin De Bruyne. I think he's a great player for City. And yeah, it's, you know, soccer is big outside the US, and I think it can be really big in the US too.
Hey, we're getting there. The Premier League, we forgot to add them. They've been on U.S. broadcast coverage for the last several years as well. Well, Laura, we'd like to thank you for taking some time. If people want to get involved with you or want to learn more, where can they locate you?
Yeah, machiningtechnology.com. Basically, down in Brooklyn Park, we have 82 people, and we're very proud to make products in the U.S. for the U.S. market, and that's where we want to focus on.
And the URL is machining-technology.com. Laurent de Koning, thanks for stopping by and giving us a brief history of your company and we wish you the best of luck as you continue this sponsorship, and we'll see just how big this St. Croix Legends program can grow.
Yeah, let's go Legends. Thank you.
Let's go Legends. We'll be back with the second half in a moment. Second half about to start between St. Croix Legends and Minneapolis City SC. I'm Mike Peden, joined by the ambassador, Don Ackerman. We are even at 2, and Don, up until that injury to Andrew Hecht, it was St. Croix Legends controlling the pace. They didn't necessarily control possession all the time, but they were dictating where the ball was going, where to set up, where to attack. He goes down, and this comes after the injury to Wesley Sanders, so you had to bring in Austin Williams, who hasn't logged a minute all season. Minneapolis City pounces on the opportunity, and now, as we get ready to start the second half, we are even at 2.
Yeah, I mean, incredible turn of events with St. Croix losing their starting goaltender and one of their starting defenders. I was asking Laurent if he had what his favorite players are, and he likes number 3, Hecht. And so it's a big loss, and Minneapolis City took full advantage of stoppage time to score 2 goals in the 45th plus, and now we're tied 1-1. It's a whole new ball game. It's going to be interesting to see in the second half what the adjustments are. We know what Minneapolis City's going to do. They saw that it finally paid off for them. I do not see Hecht back in the game at this time. Do I? Is he up there on the top right? Nope, he is not. So I think that we're going to see he's out, and they've subbed him out. So that's a big, big loss for St. Croix.
Initially, St. Croix Legends opted not to sub him out, so St. Croix played the entire stoppage time session in the first half with 10 men. So another wrinkle in the second of 3 meetings. So St. Croix Legends, they're without 2 of their defensive stalwarts for the remainder of this game. And an interesting decision. Don, I guess that's why I'm glad I'm not a coach and would have to make a guess on that. But here comes St. Croix. They jumped out of the gate to start the first half, and they are looking to do the same here. That's 24, Kobe Owu. You noted he can put goals on the board.
He's an exciting player. They brought him in as a substitute in the last game, and he scored. I think it was in the 68th minute, according to my notes. So if he scores now, it'll be a little early. But, yeah, Kobe's a lot of fun to watch. Really fast player, and he'd be exactly what St. Croix needs in the second half to take the lead back. Somebody that Minneapolis City needs to keep an eye on.
Owu from St. Paul. He attends Augsburg. The goals from St. Croix coming from Telvin Vey and Dylan Olsen. And here comes Minneapolis City, but that was knocked away by Stu Sane. We'll have another corner for the Crows.
Yeah, Susie down the sideline. He's got speed, and they're going to use him. And here's the substitution being announced.
So Drew Collins replacing Jared Hecht. Drew Collins out of Champlin Park. Here comes another set piece for Minneapolis City. That pass almost on the mark, knocked away by St. Croix.
Exactly what they want to show here. Oh, the contested ball, and Minneapolis City gets another attack.
And that is a difficult decision, Don. I'm not sure if you would have subbed out Hecht or tried to wait it out like St. Croix did. Of course, it's easy to look back on it with hindsight, but an interesting decision no matter how you view it. And another substitution was announced. Sophian Magus replacing Owen Johnson. So
number 14, 41 for 14, so a little inverse action.
So I believe St. Croix has 4 substitutions remaining. And Minneapolis also announcing a couple of substitutions. So they will have 5 left.
I don't know if they're going to reach their limit, but you can see both teams making halftime adjustments, and that's fun. You have fresh legs on the field.
And again, more lenient substitution rules compared to MLS, Premier League, international competition.
I think that's better because if you're in a pre-pro league, the whole idea is to get some time on the field. So the more substitutions, the better. I think you want to see more people getting a chance. So I like more substitutions. I think it allows the coach to reward all those players that work hard in practice to give them game time.
And if you were with us for our halftime interview with Lauren DeKoning, he noted the growth of the game and how it's encapsulated the Twin Cities and the country. Don, you were a spectator for the first ever game with the women's pre-pro team, Minnesota Aurora FC.
Yeah, also USL. And yeah, that was great. And I'll be there again on Friday. They've got their second home match. And it's exciting to see all this development. The real cool part is to see all the opportunity. All these teams have beautiful kits and organizations, and they're all learning the game and growing it, and it's just fun to see all that blossoming.
St. Croix on the move. Sliding challenge by Minneapolis, and they will concede a corner.
And this is really great for St. Croix, who want to get back into this game. Like you said, in the first half, Minneapolis City possessed the ball for a major amount of the time. Wasn't able to break through. Now we see St. Croix setting up.
No, a foul was called instead.
They did call the foul. Yeah, it felt like it was. I didn't think I wouldn't have called that foul, but
there was a little bit of contact. It was enough for the official to issue a foul. So it's still a set piece nonetheless, just a little closer than the corner, but still a prime opportunity. And a good deflection for Minneapolis City. Again, even at 2, and if you are wondering,
headed out by Wes Lawrence, by the way.
Wes Lawrence, we've called his name a few times. Va with the shot from deep. That bounces wide left. As I understand it, there is no overtime like you would normally see at a game here. If we end the second half and the score is even, the match is called a draw. We do not have extra time sessions until we get to postseason play.
Correct.
But wins are important because they net you a few more points in the standings.
Lauren's involved again, and now Minneapolis City is throwing the ball in and getting an attack.
Again, they controlled possession for most of the first half, but weren't able to generate rhythm on offense until that 8-minute stretch of stoppage time in the first half. St. Croix opting to play with 10 men as Jared Hecht. There's an old friend of mine who went by Andrew, and I can't separate the two.
Yeah, well,
an old school buddy of mine.
So you'd have to wonder, like, did Minneapolis City take advantage of Hecht being out, or being up one person? I guess we'll never know. But the second half might show us.
Or potentially both.
Or both, yeah. I mean, Hecht's a great defender, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was just the absence of a great defender can make a huge difference.
And that first goal was a big one, and then that second one, I believe, it came on that fortuitous bounce. We were talking with Lawrence and what makes the sport unpredictable, and for me exciting to watch. You never know when a moment could be the moment. One crazy bounce, one weird carom, and you can find yourself putting it in the back of the net.
Yeah, I think for Minneapolis City, if you give someone like Eli Goldman a chance, it's going to pay off. That's exactly what he did. He scored a goal, and he scored before, and he'll score again.
Goldman with his third goal of the season, scoring in stoppage time. Centering pass, and Minneapolis City takes the lead. Speaking of ball movement, it was 15. Wes Lawrence who set it up for Masanvi as we take another look. That was a beautiful cross.
Second goal for Masanvi, and Lawrence, you talk about some bravado, gives a shush sign to the St. Croix side after that great assist, which really all credit there. Just put the ball in the right spot, was able to chase it down. Masanvi kind of does like a reverse heel kick, puts it in. That was really great job. Wes Lawrence has got, he said silence, but he's got the
he's speaking volumes right about now.
Yeah. Yes. He's got the citizens making noise on his behalf.
So Masanvi with his second goal coming in the 53rd minute. Again, we count up. You don't see it on screen, but the clock doesn't reset at these leagues, so we start at 45 and tick all the way up to 90. Which makes it a lot easier for me to keep track, well, and for, I suppose, both of us to keep track. We've covered so many high school games here, and we have to do a little bit of math.
Yes, you do.
Minneapolis City SC looking to up the math in their favor. I'm sure it's been a frustrating stretch of the season, waiting for their first win and being shut out 3 times. So Minneapolis City SC, I don't know if they'll make the postseason, but you can see on this team, there's a lot of motivation. They would love to get that first win. I know for teams that are building their way up, it's always exciting to get that first one.
Yeah, like you said, it's a new world in the USL 2, and Minneapolis City wants to break in and make their presence known. Their last game, it was 0-0 at half, really contested. Minneapolis City had chances. Now they're able to cash in on them.
Jack Berry with the throw-in. Knocked away by Williams. And a tough introduction for Williams. Again, coming in place of Wesley Sanders, and he's given up 3 goals.
Not much you could do against Masanvi's. I mean, that was just a well-placed ball right inside the right post as we were looking at it. Goldman just got an opportunity, and anybody gets an opportunity in front of the net, odds are it's going in. There's not much you can do about it, unfortunately.
A reminder, the next home game for St. Croix Legends will take place at Hudson, June 18th. So a home away from home, if you will. I hope the Valley Access team doesn't mind a short road trip.
No, not at all.
Well, Hudson does have the river channel in their side of the St. Croix. So we don't go out there often.
Yeah, that last one just out of reach of Dylan Olsen.
Olsen with his first goal of the season. That made it 2-0. It's been all Minneapolis City since. Flag stays down. Another chance. The lob. Did it cross the line? No. It bounced off the post. Did not cross the line. A big break for St. Croix Legends.
Underneath the crossbar. Goes straight down onto the line. And that whole tactic of going down the field is paying off for Minneapolis City.
Did not cross. Maybe we can get a goal camp sponsor. The way Machining Technology sponsors those jerseys.
Yeah,
because I want to know just how close it was.
Yeah, that was certainly close. I don't think it was a goal, unlike the Citizens fan club yelling in their megaphone it's a goal.
I didn't think so either, but when it's that close and we're up here,
you'd like to be sure.
Well, then for that, and for me, any excuse to get a really good shot.
There you go.
It's not so much that I want proof. I'm just looking for an excuse to have a really good shot to show off.
Nice. Well, that would have been a really nice shot to show off had it gone in.
Another deep ball for Minneapolis City. This time it gets slightly ahead of Masanvi, and Williams able to retrieve it. So Minneapolis City, ever since the Hecht injury, the proverbial switch has been flipped. We're seeing their offense step things up. They're moving the ball more quickly, really increasing their aggressiveness on the attack.
And, you know, based on what we've seen, I think it justifies waiting to see if Hecht could come back. Based on what you've seen here with him out, seems like he is a quality defender that you want to keep.
Va gets a check from Lawrence. Centering pass, and Minneapolis City SC gets in there. That was Goldman and O'Connell with the deflection as it rolls past the touchline.
Yeah, number 14, Magos was trying to collect that ball, wasn't able to, but good job by Va to fall to the ground, recover, and then get the ball to his teammate, setting up someone in the center of the field, which is exactly what you're supposed to do.
They're shorthanded, but St. Croix Legends not out of this, and shorthanded meaning two of their defensive leaders no longer available, but a lot of time left, just under 30 minutes plus whatever amount is added in stoppage time as we are in the 60th minute.
I see a lot of good communication on the field right now by St. Croix. They want to be careful. They want to get this game back under control. You can see a lot of talking on the field as they're trying to position now differently because they do not like being down 2-3.
Lead pass knocked away by Sanchez, ricocheting. Not a lot of Minneapolis fans per se, but the ones who are here are quite vocal.
Yes, they are.
But again, this is pre-pro, a way for current college athletes and some high schoolers to build their credentials. Here comes Minneapolis City, the Crows, looking to count another goal. That's deflected, and that should be a corner kick.
And it is. Good job by Eli and Goldman working with Susie there to do a little back and forth, making it really hard for the defender to stay with the ball.
And putting this corner in motion will be number 48, yes. Stable. Headed away by St. Croix.
They are not stopping. Minneapolis City has just turned this game completely around. Now I have another corner as Eli Goldman heads to the corner to kick this ball in. St. Croix just hasn't been able to break through and get and add to that early lead or try to get it back.
This time they play it short. And Williams catches up to it. So a couple of corners.
This is a real big turnaround for St. Croix. I think they're going to have a lot to think and talk about after seeing this game go from 2-0 to 2-3 in the course of a couple, in owning that first half.
The tide turned in stoppage time. And then a few minutes into the second half, Luke Misanvi put Minneapolis City SC in front. A team that had scored just twice all season in league play.
Yeah, now St. Croix just trying to see if they can get Va back active. See if they can get Kobe Owu to get on the board. Good steal there by St. Croix.
All part of the learning process, of course. As we've alluded to, all these players were probably notable names on their high school teams. They all play college soccer. Nice set here by St. Croix, but that pass just got a little in front of Stu Sane, and he wasn't able to keep it in play.
Yeah, great job by number 19 there to loft it, trying to set up a teammate, but just missed it. And in the game of soccer, sometimes you've got to be exactly precise, and when you do, you pull off these unbelievable plays, but it's a lot of work and a lot of skill, and it's executing it to perfection for it to pay off. At this point, it looks like Minneapolis City's taking their time to kick this ball, or we have substitution going on here. Number 15 subbing out.
Looking at the roster for Minneapolis City SC, some of their players skew on the older side.
Being quiet here.
Substitution number 18, Joey Tawa. On for number 12, Adian O'Driscoll.
18 for 12.
Number 20, Isaac Eckroth, replaces number 15, Wes Lawrence.
And Isaac Eckroth coming in for Lawrence. But some of the players on Minneapolis City, they skew older. And you have some veterans, too, on the St. Croix team. And here comes Minneapolis City SC. They force another turnover. And they draw a foul. And another yellow. As number 48, Contestable, was tackled to the turf.
Contestable, a very aggressive player. Was able to collect the foul there. Paying for it, though.
And another yellow issued to St. Croix. Contestable gets back up, walks it off. He will turn.
Caution issued to St. Croix, number 18, Brian Vang.
And Brian Vang hit with the yellow. Vang out of St. Paul. Contestable.
Vang just subbed into the game, too.
Free kick. Wide left. And a frustrated number 42, I believe, Mansanvi. He had a good look and just sliced it left.
That would have been his third goal of the game.
And a chance to take command. St. Croix trailing 3-2. Minneapolis City, they've had a couple of good looks, a couple of good chances to take a commanding lead. They had a shot that hit the post and Karam just outside the goal line. And then Masanvi with that free kick following the yellow just sliced it left. It was a well-placed shot.
That's how you score in soccer, right? Well-placed shots, usually. Good strategy, good alignment, set plays working. Those things lead to wins. Minneapolis City hasn't changed their tactics at all, really, in this second half. From the first, you still see them doing those deep balls down the sideline, trying to connect with their teammates.
The difference is how well they have connected on those sets.
No change in possession time, really, from the first. We have You have a player down, number 22.
Drew Collins out of Champlain Park.
I don't think we have any foul called because I don't think it was away from the ball. I don't know if anybody saw what happened.
But another.
Oh, hang on. He did see it, and now I think we're getting a card.
Signaling, yep. I see the yellow.
No. I think it's a red.
That's on Masanvi.
Was that red or yellow? Must be yellow. He's not leaving the game.
Yeah, I saw the official holding the yellow card on his left hand. So Masanvi,
Yellow card caution issued to number 42.
who has
Masanvi.
2 of the Minneapolis City goals, hit with the yellow card. And Collins gets back up. The last thing St. Croix wants to see is another injury. Again, their starting keeper and their defensive leader, Jared Hecht. Sanders and Hecht both subbed out due to injury. Hecht, they waited until the start of the second half to make it official. Here comes Minneapolis City SC. That's Eli Goldman. What a pass. And Williams falls on it.
Williams was in a tough spot there. Had a player coming at full speed.
That was a fine setup by Minneapolis City SC, and that is the defensive stop Williams needs. I think just to get his mojo, his confidence going, because it has been a rough half for him and change, allowing 3 goals. So getting a stop, I think that can go a long way in case his services are called upon later this season. St. Croix looking for the counter. They got a look from Kobe Owu. Sanchez falls on it. We're in the 70th minute.
Yeah, Owu going for a quality spot there on the kick. Wasn't able to put super power on it, but just trying to place it perfectly, and Sanchez was in defensive positioning to stop it. Right now you're looking to see for St. Croix, can they connect some players? Can they get Va some space? Can they get Owu to get a goal? Minneapolis City just looking to continue what they'd done the first half. Very patient, very persistent. And they have a 3-2 lead.
Minneapolis City offside.
Susi trying to get there, trying to get goal number 4 for his club.
Minneapolis City would love an insurance goal here as they look to notch their first win this season. And it doesn't get easier for Minneapolis City. They had a back-to-back, delayed back-to-back with St. Croix. They go on the road again Saturday to take on Des Moines.
Des Moines at the top of the table right now and the defending champion.
Say defending USL 2 champions. They played them once already, lost that one 2-0 at Eder Nelson Field. And for St. Croix, they are off until the 18th.
And that's the game that'll be at Hudson High School, also against Des Moines. So Des Moines is the opponent for both clubs in their next match.
Well, Des Moines is within their division.
Substitution number 21, Lionel Vang, replacing number 42, Luke Masanvi.
And Luke Masanvi, he will go out. Lionel Vang, number 21, will take over. Interesting move by Minneapolis City, although as you noted, Don, this league, a pre-pro league, looking to give up-and-comers, hopefuls a chance to play, but Masanvi responsible for 2 of your goals. It's an interesting substitution decision.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think you also have to consider that yellow card. And if you think he's going to stay that aggressive, maybe you say, hey, you've had 2 goals. Good day. Thank you for your service.
Right, don't pick up that second yellow, which would drop your ranks. As you know, if a player is sent off, you can't put in a replacement.
Yeah, and I think that's the kind of thing St. Croix would really want.
There's Magoo's. Magoo's from London, England. He plays college soccer at Western Illinois.
Lots of passing there by St. Croix. And that header over is the kind of play I'm talking about, that by Gallman. That's the kind of play that you see from St. Croix a lot. People working together. But Minneapolis City's defense is not allowing them to get anything on the inside either.
They spit another one back out. Centering pass. And Minneapolis City takes over. So
here we go. Eli Goldman running down the field now.
Evades the challenge, lines it up. Williams was ready for it. Goldman had the velocity on it, but he almost kicked it right over to Williams.
Yeah, Williams just placed himself well defensively. Showing some good quality goaltending. Yeah, like you said, he hadn't seen any action yet. He's done well so far. See here that every ball is contested. Okay, now I think we have another substitution coming, so you have the referee's whistle. Coming out of the game is Dylan Olsen, number 38.
St. Croix substitution number 11, Casey McCloskey.
Casey McCloskey from Denver, Colorado.
Number 11.
So McCloskey in for Olsen. Olsen registering his first goal of the season. But and there's McCloskey. He ran out and then went back in, was able to establish himself. Minneapolis City takes over, but Don, you don't see that often where a player runs out, tracks the ball down, but
fresh legs.
Fresh legs. That shot deflected, but a foul.
And that is off a hand.
Yellow.
In the box.
So a penalty kick and a yellow card. And Don, you were speaking about this on why Misanvi might have been subbed out. Minneapolis City protesting. I saw at least one yellow. There might have been a second. I believe that yellow issued to Goldman.
I wouldn't necessarily, it didn't look like he deliberately tried to hit it, but it definitely did hit the hand. And they're trying to argue about location.
Minneapolis City saying it was outside the box.
A common complaint or a common suggestion.
When the foul is against you, that is.
Absolutely.
And
otherwise, it's in the box if it's not.
And it looks like Victor Gallman will be the one to take this PK. This could be the ticket for St. Croix Legends to get back in this. They trail by 1. And Gallman, who has a goal this season, will look for a second. He's got it.
Powers it in.
No doubter.
In the 78th minute. Number 10.
We're even again at 3. Could that be a play? Could that be a sequence that catapults St. Croix Legends back into this game? It felt like they were playing on their back foot, proverbially speaking, for most of the second half.
It's got to be a boost to get that third goal after being up 2-0, coming back.
In the 78th minute, number 10, Victor Gallman.
all men from Brest, France.
Forcing the Croix fans to chant, "We love Minneapolis, we do." This is what they chant after a goal. Similar to what the MLS team fans chant after they give up a goal. Now another opportunity here.
Minneapolis City turning it over.
Look at that teamwork right there. 41 to 11 to 11 to 41.
Flag stays down. Sanchez corrals it on that roller from Sofian Maguz.
Yeah, I think if you want to beat Sanchez, you're going to have to keep doing that back and forth to make Sanchez move. Sanchez was zoned in and was able to prevent any goal.
Minneapolis City with the deep ball, but too deep.
Susi's fast, but not that fast, just out of reach.
And remember, Minneapolis City, they subbed out Luke Masanvi, who had both of their goals. They still have Goldman. And so we talked about substitution patterns and strategy done in the first half. As St. Croix Legends looks to get another ball, Sanchez knocks it away.
St. Croix able to keep it inbounds. Really good with teamwork here. They're going to go across the field. Out of reach, though.
Still time. We're in the 80th minute. A lot can happen, plus whatever time is added in stoppage time. But, Don, the substitution patterns, the strategy in this game, this is my first USL League Two game, and it is quite the conversational piece. Water cooler talk, if you will, as Minneapolis City trying to establish a set here. Looking. That's Condestable, I think, who's dancing around.
Nice defensive play there.
St. Croix looking to take over, but the Legends opting to play with 10 men when Hecht was injured to see if he could come back. Minneapolis City scores 2 goals in the process. Now Minneapolis City SC, they give up an equalizer on the PK, and they had subbed out one of their big names in this game, Masanvi, who had a pair of goals. Again, the objective of a pre-pro league may be different than the higher leagues, but it's fascinating when you consider all of the intangibles and what has transpired following these substitutions or decisions not to substitute.
Yeah, I think you also have to factor in, too, like if you don't sub a player in, could they have made a difference? So I think you have to look at that as well. So in addition to who do you sub in and who do you sub out, it's did you not put in a guy who could have made a difference?
And again, the substitution rules more lax than in the higher leagues. You're allowed 7. We're in the 82nd minute.
Va, look at Va with the ball. He's fun to watch. You just see like the maneuvering going on there and collected the foul. You're not sure if Va's going to try to make a run or pass it to a teammate as he works with number 41 to set up things. I think Prater's their kicker, though. Prater's their set ball kicker. They're going to put him in position here to set something up.
Well, Va did draw the foul after he bounced around a couple of those Minneapolis City defenders.
Oh, did a good job there of staying on side. I think he was the target for that kick.
Minneapolis City knocked it away, so a throw-in.
Oh, nice collection there.
Minneapolis City clears it. Well, let's remind people what is at stake. Both of these teams in the bottom half of the Deep North Division. Minneapolis City looking for their first win. St. Croix had that 2-0 lead, lost it, but if they can pick up another go-ahead goal, that would net them some valuable points in the standings.
Yeah, you just want to make a run. I mean, they can put together some wins. Next up is Des Moines. They're at the top of the table, so you can pick up some points on them real easily by getting a win. The season's still pretty young, I think. I mean, like you said, it's not the beginning of the season, but still trying to work your ways around this new league. So collecting a win here would be a good start. Next step, beat Des Moines, and then just see if you can get on a run.
Minneapolis City playing a stretch of 5 straight road games, including 4 in 12 days, starting this evening with St. Croix, then Des Moines next Saturday. The following Friday, they go to Thunder Bay, and they'll complete the Canada swing with FC Manitoba, June 19th.
At this point, we have Magoo taking a breather here, number 41. That's going to add to our stoppage time, which could be a couple minutes.
We're in the 84th minute now, and we'd like to once again thank the following partners: Candyland, Lake Elmo Bank, MN Foot Tech, Morgan Stanley, Leo's Grill and Malt Shop, Gloria's To Go, and Los Ocampo.
Yep, don't forget, it's Taco Tuesday.
I had a few tacos at another establishment not too far from here, so I took advantage of that.
Good.
Also to take advantage of a birthday perk.
Is it birthday month, Mike?
It is. Well, it is, and I get reminders of that every year when I get all the new perks
Yes.
loaded into my apps.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do. Williams went to the sideline and now is running back to the net, collecting the ball. Looks like Magoo is going to exit the game, at least for a short bit.
Will they sub someone in?
That's the question.
As I believe they still have a couple substitutions left. And I'm counting it up. So far, nope. Magoo's getting checked out. I think he's okay, so.
Yeah, he's waiting for the referee to allow him to enter the game again.
And now he's signaled in.
Good header there by Prater down. But the City defense, and Prater gets it back.
Prater with the lead pass. Good eye by Casey McCloskey to hold off, wait for help to make sure St. Croix remained on side. This could be a crucial set for them. And you don't want to waste it with an onside call, but a turnover. Now Minneapolis City has numbers if they push. It's a foot race, and Williams gets there first.
Sends the ball into the forest, almost literally. Someone's going to enjoy going to get that. Those great kids that are helping the team. That one kid said, I don't know where it went.
It stayed here, right? It didn't clear the fence.
No, I think it did. It cleared the fence and went behind the tree.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure if you went back there, you would probably find a few. Throw in. That second chance, Williams was ready for it. And I believe a handball was called.
For sure, a whistle blown and possession changes.
That gives the ball back to St. Croix.
As we come up on 88 minutes into this match. Thinking we have at least 7 minutes left of game action is my prediction.
We'll see how much time is added. Minneapolis City, again, scoring 2 of their goals in stoppage time in the first half, looking to pick up another here. Minneapolis City wanted a foul. That would have been a penalty kick, but they are relentless in this assault peppering as many shots as they can.
Running down the field and trying to get opportunities, absolutely.
Well, they know time is winding down, so if you get that go-ahead goal, it would give you a great chance to pick up a win.
For St. Croix, they definitely do not want to be giving up goals in stoppage time in both halves.
Those are the ones that sting most. Foul outside the box.
Number 18, Vang, questions that. I think it's Vang. Yep, Brian Vang questions that one.
Free kick, though.
Doesn't change anything.
It won't change anything, but a big free kick coming up right outside the box. A lot of options here if you're Minneapolis City. That's number 21. They didn't put all the numbers on the roster.
Lionel Vang, maybe?
That could be Vang. Fires. Williams knocks it away. A corner will be coming up, though, as we enter stoppage time here, as the clock is about to get to 90. So we are in stoppage time. We will get an announcement shortly, we hope. Here comes the corner. Batted away.
Number 41 chasing that down. Looks like he's recovered from whatever injury was ailing him earlier. Yep. He's
Sofian Maguz.
running the field really well. Looks completely healthy.
Well, if you're St. Croix, even a draw would be cause for praise after giving up 3 goals, 2 in stoppage time in the first half. And there were a couple of times where it almost unraveled. Minneapolis City had a couple of great looks, including one that went off the post, but did not cross the goal line as it ricocheted onto the turf. A minute into stoppage time. If neither team scores, the match will end in a draw.
And both teams have a lot to look at as far as what worked and what they could work on in this game.
Second meeting between these two.
Good back and forth here. Wall's out of bounds, though.
Say in a delayed back-to-back for Minneapolis City. St. Croix played Peoria, wrapped up their series with them.
Va really trying to get loose there, frustrated. Would love to get a goal here. Be an interesting bookend after scoring early to score late in the game.
Well, time is running out. We're in the second minute of stoppage time. So both sides know opportunities are limited.
Nice ball there by Eli Goldman, but Susie not able to track it down. Great opportunity, though. That's exactly what you'd want to be doing. Susie has to be excited to get that chance, and Goldman did a good job there. Williams going to boot it deep. St. Croix needs to collect this up and get going. Oh, that's going to be a foul.
Yes. Owu was barreled, pummeled. Pretty clear foul there. It's far enough away that you can't score directly off this free kick, but that was pretty blatant.
Wasn't. It looks like they're calling a throw-in.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, that was a clear
that
football.
Was a tackle, yes.
That was an American football type of tackle versus a world football tackle.
In the third minute in stoppage time. Va making a move.
This might be it.
He throws down the challenge.
Oh, hands it off to Owu, but solid defense.
And number 20, slow to get up. That's Isaac Eckroth. And Don, I suppose Owu just took a hit. Nothing was called, so Vaughn thinking, all right, they're going to let us play. I'm going to make a challenge. And
smart play.
Right.
And
Leave no doubt.
And getting Magoo involved, I think, when all three of them are running down the field would be genius. Oh, look at that ball by Magoo back. Unbelievable to Va. Chipped it forward, but Owu not able to get to it.
4th minute in stoppage time.
This is a ball for just for Susi to run down and chase.
Collins knocks it away.
Sends another one down there. Now there's 2 balls down by that tree.
And Minneapolis City SC scampering. Well, the ball kids are going to get some fence climbing practice today. Here comes the throw in. I thought there was a look, but it got away.
Goldman tried to turn it around, but wasn't able to.
Well, instead he throws another one that hops over the fence into the shot put and discus throwing area.
That's right. I think I've actually worked that area for the Special Olympics. This is a great facility for that as well. There's your whistle.
And that's it. So we had 5 minutes of stoppage time, and this game ends in a 3-3 draw. A tough series of events for St. Croix, Dom, when you're up 2-0 and then give up 3 goals, including 2 in stoppage time in the first half. But that penalty kick conversion by Gallman, it salvages the draw, and it gets St. Croix a point.
The way I look at it is you had 2 goals, lost 2 players. Good comeback to equalize, but a great job by Minneapolis City to take advantage of it. You see some players are gassed laying on the field. A real good battle here after a 0-1 match earlier. Nice recovery here.
We'll wrap it all up when we return. This is St. Croix Soccer. This match ends in a 3-3 draw. St. Croix Legends and Minneapolis City each get a point. So, Don, for Minneapolis City, they're still looking for their first win, and I have a feeling this game will sting for them. They were up 3-2, but then commit a foul inside the box. That allowed Gallman to convert the PK. And for St. Croix Legends, they're still stuck at 1 win. They do pick up another draw. And after everything they went through, it looked like things were going to get out of hand and they would find themselves on the losing end. They salvage a draw, like you said, a lot for both teams to take away from this game.
Yeah, you notice the song being played right now over the speakers is Bittersweet Symphony, and I think this game had some symphony moments for both clubs, and at the end, in the end, some bittersweet moments, as one team had a 2-0 lead, the other team had a 3-2 commanding lead, opportunities to make it 4 and weren't able to. So I think both clubs have a lot to look at, and coming out with a draw probably isn't ideal for either club, but it's better than a loss.
Well, that puts St. Croix Legends at 1-2-2, and Minneapolis City at 0-3-2. And again, Don, this is pre-pro, so the goal of this league may be a little different than the higher ones, but I go back to all the substitution strategies and decisions. St. Croix gave up 2 goals in stoppage time in the first half, trying to wait out that injury Jared Hecht suffered. Minneapolis City pounced on that, and then Luke Misanvi, who had a pair of goals for Minneapolis City, he gets subbed out. Hard to say what he would have done had he stayed in.
Subbed out after the yellow card. So
right.
if you're worried about him getting a second one. probably a good strategy to pull them out of that before it happens.
So just a lot to unpack with these two teams in the second of 3 meetings this season. I don't know what the right choice is. I just find it fascinating. And Don, I imagine the coaches, the players, they're going to unpack a lot as they review the film and go over what worked, what didn't. So I think both teams learned a lot about themselves, even if this game ended in a draw.
Absolutely, yeah, a lot to look at, a lot of great moments. Like I said, a lot of sympathy, and in the end, a lot of bittersweet. So a lot to take in. Both clubs play Des Moines next. That's going to be a big test for them. Des Moines at the top of the table, so you get another measuring stick to see how you're doing.
And the perk for St. Croix Legends, they get 11 days. So for Sanders and Hecht, who both had to leave the game to injuries, they will have time to recover and hopefully get back out there at full strength, because this game was rough for St. Croix Legends, especially in the first half.
Yeah, we had a lot of players down in the second half as well. We had a lot of stoppage time to both halves, so, and a lot of aggressive plays. So, like I said, you said, a lot to look at and some time to recover, at least for St. Croix.
Telvin Va, Dylan Olsen, and Victor Gallman were the goal scorers for St. Croix Legends, and for Minneapolis City, 2 from Luke Monsanvi and another one from Eli Goldman. So both have a lot to build on and work on as the season continues. And as Don noted, the next meeting for both teams is Des Moines. In the case of St. Croix Legends, that will take place June 18th at Hudson High School.
Home game.
It is the home away from home, so we're just going to see you on the east side of the St. Croix River the next time you watch St. Croix Legends soccer. But that will do it from here at Pony Stadium on the west side of the St. Croix River. For Don Ackerman and the rest of the Valley Access Channels crew, I'm Mike Beaton. Thank you for watching St. Croix Legends and Minneapolis City played to a 3-3 draw.